Okay, there we go. Can you hear me? Everything loud and clear? So I don't know if you can hear me, but I can't hear you. Yeah, I can see you, but I can't hear you. All right, so welcome to On a Vine. This is something different for me. Typically, I do these from Instagram, but we got a special guest that I'm going to be talking to today, Mrs. Priscilla Clark. So we're going to do it on YouTube. This will be my first YouTube live cast, but it's always new times, new adventures. So let me just switch mics. This is a better mic. Okay. All right, then let's see. All right, can you hear me, Priscilla? All right, come on in.
Okay, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you
Cause you had me in the green room. When I'm in the green room, you gotta pull me out and add me to the stream.
I got you. So are we both streaming now?
Uh huh.
Okay. So thank you for your patience. Like I said, this is my first YouTube live stream, so it'll be all together by the time the next one come around. So
Okay.
uh,
You could if you was more comfortable with Instagram, we could have went live on there as long as you. Cause I don't have I've never gone live on Instagram, so I don't know if you need a streaming software or anything like that. But we could have did it however you was comfortable.
now with Instagram, you just pretty much I do Instagram from my iPad or my phone. So I travel a
Mm-hmm.
lot, so it's real simple. You just go live. But I've
Mm-hmm.
never used to YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
However, you have to learn to adapt, and I felt like this is what you want to do, and you're not the first person to typically say, "Oh, I'll do YouTube as well." So
Mm-hmm.
you have to learn sometimes. So I said, "Why not?"
Awesome. Awesome. Ain't no problem with that.
All right. So hopefully everything is functioning correctly. I won't even know until this is all said and done. But either way,
Do you how do you have me in the stream? Do you have me side by side with you on the
I have no idea. So right now it just has you in the screen. I don't see me at all.
you don't see you at all? So what you can do is at the top you should be able to see if you no if you click the two people on the side where you have the options for the interview where you see
Mm-hmm.
the two bodies, click that and then you can add me to your left or right.
Boom. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. See, now this is like the second program, third program I looked at. I looked at a couple of them. Out of all
Hmm.
of them, this one seemed to be um, the easiest to start to use. So
Hmm.
I tried that Brio one or whatever. Or I'm sorry, OBS. It was just a lot
Oh
going
yeah.
on.
Oh yeah, OBS is complicated. You got
Yeah.
to get used to that.
Yeah, I was like, I ain't trying to take a course, but yeah, but I tried one yard bird or yard something,
StreamYard.
green yard, and then this
Mhm.
one to me just the interface was the cleanest, so I said this is the best route to take right now. Um,
Mhm.
and then yeah, it's just like I said, this is very clean. Even though I don't, this is my first time using it. It's very
Mhm.
simple. Even when I made a mistake, it will correct you and then give you what you should be doing. So it was just like, yeah, this is the one right here.
Yes,
Um,
indeed. I like it, Kim.
okay, so now, so we're live. So I guess we can go ahead and start.
Yeah, we can start. I'm ready.
Okay. All right. So, I saw some of your commentary on another person's page, and I was just like, okay.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna check out your page. I said, okay, she has some interesting concepts. Um,
Yeah.
I don't. I may not agree with everything, but I also feel like a lot of times you have to uh, listen to a viewpoint and
Hmm.
consider it because a lot of times people are very closed out. They can only think how they want to think, but not thinking outside the box. Because a lot of times,
Right.
even if you don't agree with somebody, you can still
Right.
take what you hear from them and either use it to motivate yourself or use it to even add clarity to things that you may see because everybody's perception is subjective. Um,
Right.
but I think what you're doing is valid. I definitely think it's a niche for it because you have a lot of individuals who they need guidance. For lack of better terms, because it's very difficult to navigate. Um, well, I'm not gonna say, yeah, it is. It's very difficult navigating the world, especially around relationships, because people are very special, and no one person's the same. But outside of all of that, I really wanted to just kind of sit down with you and see who you are.
Yes,
I'm not a
sir.
relationship coach or anything like that, so I don't. I just deal with my own relationships.
Hmm.
But however, like I said, I thought that you had a unique perspective, and I think that's important to grow in society because we sometimes we're not thinking correctly, and we need someone to push our thought in the proper direction so it can grow. Um,
Yes, I agree.
so with that being said, um, Priscilla, the Queen Maker. So who are you? Where you from? Talk to me nice.
Well, I am originally from Shreveport, Louisiana,
Okay.
and I live in Houston, Texas now. I've been here for 10 years, going on 11. So I guess you can say that I'm officially a Houstonian.
Okay. Okay.
Right. Yes, indeed.
So do you
And
like it in
go ahead.
Houston?
Oh, I love it in Houston. Houston is a great city. It's growing. I don't like that it's growing because it's too many people. But I don't really interact with the city like that. So, I try to stay out the way and try not to be on the roads unless I have to, which is really all the time since I'm a truck driver. So I can't really avoid the traffic, but everything is great here except for the traffic and all this doggone construction they got going on.
Oh man, I know the
Hmm.
feeling. I'm actually from Ohio, but I live in Miami now, and Miami is man, like the traffic is insane. Like it make you want to take the train. You'll take the train and then just go to your car because to
Yeah.
sit in that for an hour and a half. And then I don't know Texas. I've never actually chilled in Texas. I only kind of stopped through in the airport on my way elsewhere. But
Hmm.
there's a high population of individuals from different nationalities here, because all the
Yeah.
Caribbean comes here. All of Latin America comes here. So you have a lot of different individuals, and they bring their driving style here. So you have a lot of
Yeah.
accidents,
Or
like
right.
So it is what it is, but yeah, it's wild. So
Well, I'd like to thank you for reaching out to me and asking to interview me. This is probably going to go down as something in your archives that you can look back on and be very proud and happy that you embarked on.
oh, for sure, for sure. Um, one of the reasons I want to interview you was I felt like everything I saw about you was negative.
Hmm.
Um, and I didn't see any support of what you were doing. Um,
Hmm.
as far and I'm not saying it's not there, but it's just from the couple of things that I did see, I just always felt like there was a lot of negative commentary. It wasn't anything positive. And the reality is, you can't. Uh, there's nothing wrong with having a different opinion, but I don't think you can blatantly say
Hmm.
somebody is wrong or blatantly say that they don't know what they're talking about or do anything like that because I mean, who are you? I mean, so it's. I just felt like I don't. I'm not really interested so much in the politics of, you know, what you believe, what your perceptions are. I'm more interested in who you are because I think that a lot of times people try to demonize a person without even knowing them,
Right.
and I feel like that's very unfair.
Absolutely.
So, um, and
Well, I
yeah,
certainly appreciate that. That's very noble and that is very considerate, which is something that the majority of people are not.
I
Right.
agree. Most people are
Mm-hmm.
very selfish
Mm-hmm.
and very self centered. Um,
Right. Which tells you right there, you just answered your own question, whether you know it or not. That is the root of why people, specifically men, because I know that 98% of the negative reviews that you saw on me are coming from men. I know it is. And the reason that
100%.
is,
Yeah. So yeah, yeah.
mhm. Yeah, and the reason that I know it is, and the only reason why I said knocked it down from 100%, because I'm sure it's some pick me's in there that support that are male identified that may have some commentary too. But I know that the men have something to say about it. You know why? Because my message directly impacts men's needs.
Okay.
Men are very selfish and self centered, and they do not like a message that does not cater to their needs. Men are not considerate of women's needs at all, they are only considerate of their own by nature. If you've ever heard the message or the saying that men are territorial because men are selfish. It's all about them and their needs. And once they get a hold of something, they want to hold on to it because it fulfills their needs. It ain't about nobody else. So I am a woman that is literally talking about raising women up and making them do what men say that women need to do, which is what? Choose better. But see, choosing better mean that a lot of these dudes don't get chose. And they don't want to live that reality. They don't really want women to choose better. The only thing they want to do is blame her when she does to say, "Well, you should have chose better." But don't really choose better because then I won't get my needs met, right? So, of course, they're going to be anti my message because my message makes them have to put in work where you just can't roach up on no punani for nothing, where you just can't roach up on no ego stroking for nothing, right?
Okay.
See, they don't like that.
But you know, I think they go both ways because I feel like you know, you do actually have a sector of men who uh prefer, you know, a woman who believes in herself, prefers a woman who can make good choices because, you know, a lot of times, you know, what I experience myself is I don't, if you date a woman who's made bad choices in the past, sometimes those bad choices can affect you because those individuals, they're childish, they're immature, they have, like you said, they have problems letting go. So, you know, you may have an incident where, I mean, people, men lose their life all the time because the woman's ex don't understand it's over. You know, or
Right,
women lose their life as well.
which is an issue with what? Men.
Yes.
Because men cannot accept rejection. So even when you're talking about women in that nature, you have to consider that the root issue is the fucking dude, right? So in order for males who consider themselves good men to not deal with this, women would have to be taught how to choose better. But how to choose better ain't about choosing no man. It's about choosing yourself and seeking love from within instead of without.
Yes.
Because women have been taught to look outside of themselves for love. But my message to women is this, that men are incapable of love. They are not capable of giving you what you are looking for because you just said it out your own mouth before we even started talking. Most people are selfish, and men are the most selfish on this planet. There can be no love in the midst of selfishness, right? So, if men are selfish by nature, there is no possible way that he can give you love because love is not a selfish concept, right? So women have to understand that everything that drives a man's behavior is selfish in nature. Got nothing to do with you. It got everything to do with fulfilling whatever need he's trying to get fulfilled at your expense. So if you are looking for love, a lot of these dudes will allow you to hang yourself with the concept of love so that he can get all his needs met until you ain't got nothing else to give. And when you ain't got nothing else to give, that's when he move on to another motherfucker that he can suck dry. That can stop when women realize that men are not capable of love, and everything that you're looking for in terms of love is within yourself. To choose better, to truly choose better, means to choose your goddamn self.
But I really believe you have to come in the door with that because men, it's not really about love. It's about duty. Like, I don't take out the trash. I don't pay the bills. I don't keep the cars clean. I don't take care of the yard. And, I don't do that because it's love. I do that because I'm
But
an
that's that,
adult.
that's what I'm
It's
talking.
duty.
That's what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. But see, that's what I'm talking about. Y'all stay looking at things from your individual perspective as if the world revolves about around how you think and how you see and what you do, without the consideration of how women think and operate. I'm telling you, women think and operate differently because everybody sees the world through a lens of their deficiencies. Men see the world through the lens of their deficiencies, and women see the world through a lens of their deficiency. Women have their basic needs met where men do not. So women are looking for something higher, on a higher level. So, because men are focused on lower level things that do not consider the higher self, it means they're incapable of love. Just like you said, it ain't got nothing to do with love. That's what you think.
No, but
That's not
I'm
how
only
women.
saying from the standpoint of how a man operates. Like, so,
But that's what I'm
and
talking about.
so love, um, for lack, this is gonna sound cold. Love is a feminine term. Like,
No, it's it is.
a woman loves her child. Like, the mother of my child, she loves her son. Everything she does is because she loves him. I don't.
Yeah, but see, we
And
don't have
I love
no
him too, but my
men.
love is different. My love is duty and responsibility. I don't care about his stomach hurting. You got something to get done. So
But
my
see, that's what I'm
perception
talking
is
about.
totally different. But I'm
But that's
not.
what
But
I'm talking
I
about.
think that balances out though.
No, no, it doesn't. Because what you're saying is that you're incapable of love,
I'm
but
not
you
saying I'm
can't see that.
incapable,
No, no,
but
no, no,
but
no,
but
no,
but
no,
only
no,
love
no.
from
You're not.
representation of the love that a woman gives. So
But
the
you're
love
not
that a woman
listening.
gives is compassion, and the love that
You're
a
not
man gives is
listening.
duty.
No, you're not listening. I wrote a book called The Five Components of Love. There is only one love. What you talking about is care. The most that a man can do is care about somebody. Care and love is not the same thing. Care is an emotion. Love is not an emotion. Love is a concept of five complete components that make it up.
Hmm.
You're talking about care. You are not capable of love because you just said, well, I don't really care about his stomach hurting. It's all about duty. You don't even realize that you're saying that you are incapable of love, but you are describing your incapability, but you don't know that because you don't understand the five components of love. What I'm talking about is a concept that's so high level that only a woman can reach. A man cannot reach this level. So you can only care. You can't love. All you describing is care. Now, I'm
Right.
going to give you the
So,
right.
but wait,
I'm going to
but
give
that's
you
what I'm saying. So I'm saying I understand what you're saying, but that's why I feel like you. That's what relationships are about. Um, and they may not all be about that, but I really do believe relationships are about balance. There are certain things that my woman ain't doing. I'm gonna take care of that. And there are certain things I just can't see or understand. She's gonna clarify that. So it's like I'm a firm believer that as a man, you're not truly successful until you have a woman because you can't do it alone.
Right.
Women are a lot more self sufficient, like cats. Like you know what I'm saying. So it's so, but I also feel that when you look at love, like I don't like I would die for my woman. Do you understand? Like if it's me or her, it's gonna be me. But I can't even say that's love, but that's duty because this person has done so much, and I have such a strong affection for them. At the same token, I'm not finna cut those toenails. I'm not
But
cutting your
see, here's the
toenails. I'm gonna take you
but
to the
see that
parlor.
but that's what I'm talking about. So what I'm saying is all you're doing is confirming the message that I have out into the open.
I never
You're not
disagree with it.
saying
Yeah, I never
no,
disagree
I
with
know
it.
you I know you're not disagreeing with it. What I'm saying is all I'm saying is that I am proving more and more because you wanted to get an understanding of what it, and I'm letting you know that all you're doing is reverberating and confirming. But you can't get in a relationship, right, without understanding this. And the reason why women don't understand this is because patriarchy flipped the script and programmed women to think that men are capable of doing things that they're not capable of. Okay, so the patriarchy said that men are the leaders, men are the head of the household, men are above women. If you are above women, that means women will expect you to do more than they can do. The reason that's the case because that's what leaders do. They do more than their subordinates. They are capable of more than their subordinates are capable of. So women have an expectation of men that men are not capable of meeting due to their nature.
I
I am
disagree with
out.
that. I disagree with that.
How you gonna
Only because when you look,
you just
I don't know if
said it
you.
though.
But well, no, no. Excuse me. I disagree with that portion. You can be a leader and not have those skills.
No, no,
I've
no, no,
led
no,
teams
no,
and I don't have the skills that these five people have.
no.
But I manage
Specialized,
them.
no specialized knowledge. You don't. Women don't have specialized knowledge. Women have the capacity to multitask, manage, and govern a bunch of stuff. That's what a leader does, right? A leader is all over, right? But men are only capable of doing so much. You can never ask somebody to do something as a leader that you are not willing to do yourself. You know how I know? Because I'm an ex-military officer. I'm a commissioned officer in the army. So I'm trained as a leader, right? And I'm leading my own life. You can never, and I'm leading a big ass movement that's going to grow over the next 2 years. You're going to be surprised at how big this shit grow. You cannot, as a leader, tell somebody to do something that you yourself are not willing to do because leaders lead from the front. They don't lead from the rear. So the point of the matter is women expect you to be able to do not only what they can do, but what you ask of them to do, right? And be capable of it. Men are not capable of doing what they expect women to do. Right. And the reason why women expect you to do that plus more is because patriarchy told them through religion that you was the head of the household, the head of the house, and that the woman is the helpmate. If the woman is the helpmate, that means she operates at the level of a 3 or 4 year old, and you're carrying the most of the duties. The people that help you ain't doing the majority of the motherfucking work. If I'm in here cleaning up my house and my 4 year old is helping me and I'm washing clothes, my 4 year old may take some of the clothes and put it in the dryer, right? That's a helpmate. Here, put these in there. That's not the majority of the work. Women are doing the majority of the work, and you're telling her that she's the helpmate. No, 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 no. Men are only capable of doing so much. Men can't multitask. Men do not have the ability to communicate at the level that women have the ability to communicate with. Men actually have the traits of being the actual helpmate. All right. And if women knew that, they wouldn't expect as much as they expect out of you to love and all that. Y'all not capable of doing all this stuff. Men are not capable of controlling their sexual nature, multitasking and leading all this stuff and being emotionally available and all that. They're not capable of doing all of that.
I'm not gonna say they're not capable, but it's not in the man's nature. Like
But
I,
that's if it ain't
but
in his nature,
but
that means he
but
ain't capable.
but hold on. But keep in mind, and then I want to start the interview. But I do want to say, keep in mind that you know maybe in a modern society where we have protection and technology, and where a woman can function without a man, yeah, that all makes sense. But when you look at a primal nature, and of course we don't live in the wild no more. Obviously, we live in houses and we got cars and cell phones, and everything else. A woman, I'm not saying that she's a helper. Like I don't look at my lady as my helper. That's my partner. When I make a decision, we sit down. And I say, hey, this is what I'm thinking. What do you think? Because I need that input because her visual is very different than mine. And then sometimes the same thing happens where that person, she'll sit with me and she'll say, what you think about this? And I'll be like, oh, no, I don't think this is how this, I don't think it's going to work like that because this. And we'll have that conversation. But I don't, I don't, I think we're way past the point of where you just have the lady tagging along. Like, I don't want nobody who can't help me personally. But I also feel that when you look at why the man is the leader, is because when it all goes down, it's on him. Like if me and you a couple and something happens, they're looking at me. If somebody gotta die, they looking at me. If some decision has to be made, they're looking at me. Not saying that your input isn't valid, but when they kick the door in, they're not looking for the woman, they're looking for the man. Now, of course, times are changing. Women pack pistols too, so it's a whole
Well,
different lifestyle out
here's the
there.
thing. Let's go back. First of all, monogamy ain't real.
You don't think so?
Men, no, because only 3% of any population of animal or anything is monogamous. Okay, so monogamy is a made up concept. The nature of all of this stuff is really polygyny. Every man wasn't even made to have no woman. That's a fact right there.
A
Okay,
lot of men
so
don't have women. A lot of men
but
can't
here's
get
the
women.
that's because the laws ain't forcing women to need men no more, right? So, which is anti nature. To create a law means you're going against nature, right? So, to
Hmm.
strip women of the ability to provide them for themselves and force them to depend on men is anti nature. So, when the controls are moved, the fact of the matter is the majority of men were never meant to have a woman. So, it was only a few men that had the majority of the women. Who you think was protecting? It wasn't one man protecting 50 or 60 women. It was 60 women protecting the community. Who you think Neighborhood Watch was run by? It was run by women. Everything is run by women. The neighborhoods and everything was protected by women. It wasn't protected by men.
So, would
So
you want to
who
live in a society, hypothetically, like I know you live in Texas. Texas, it could be going down in Texas. So, would you want to live in a community that's protected by women, not protected by men,
yeah, I would love to live in a community protected by women who are trained.
like the
Because if women,
Amazons?
yeah, because here's the thing, the problem with society ain't the fact that women can't protect themselves, it's because we comfortable and not prepared to protect ourselves. Ain't none of us
I could
trained
agree
in
with that.
motherfucking warfare. So I don't even know what we talking about. Men ain't even trained. You don't think it's gonna be men running and ducking and dodging? You
Hell
damn right it's
yeah.
gonna be because they not prepared.
These new men
Hey,
wearing
I
purses, I
got
ain't
four
scared of them
guns
at
in here.
all. Yeah, I definitely think it's gonna be women ducking and hiding, men
So the
ducking and
point
hiding.
is, it ain't mind over matter. Mind over matter, and that's the law, and it's always been that. It ain't about your physical body, it's about your mind. And anybody who has prepped their mind and trained, ready for combat, ready to protect, can. Women absolutely can do this, and they did do this before men inflated the population with a bunch of men and took rated women with their strength and with their power, right? With their physical strength, right? Went in while these women were sleeping, killed them all. We're not gonna sit
Uh,
up here
oh,
and
I'm listening. I'm listening. I'm listening.
we're not gonna deny that. We're not going to deny that because here's the thing: you have a gender imbalance of 70 million more males than females in this world. And how did that happen? Through the one child policy where they aborted all of the girl children. And then they was getting illegal sonograms. Once they found out they was having a girl, they went and got abortions. This is what happened. These are facts. So now you've created a gender imbalance of 70 million more men than women, which is anti-nature. Okay? So we're not going to sit up here and say that strength ain't in numbers. 60 women can take out two dudes because the majority of males wasn't getting access to no punani. 60 women can handle two dudes.
But can 60 women
So,
handle 30 men?
but here's the thing. I'm trying to get you to understand all of this stuff is out of balance. Men are not communal. They compete to have access to the few women, right? They're not competing to share women amongst themselves. They're competing to shut other men out. So the nature of men, you want to share your wife? Hell no, you don't. So don't sit up here. Don't even try to disagree with me when you don't
No, no,
want
no. I'm,
your
I'm only disagreeing because in our society that is the case. And then keep in mind when you look at Arabs, they have 42 wives, 35 wives.
But I ain't talking
So,
about the wives. I'm talking about the men sharing the women.
but that's what I'm
You not
saying. Like, but you do have cultures where they do share the women. Now, I'm from America.
that's not
I ain't with that.
that's
So,
that's not that's anti-nature. You ain't finna do it. So here's the thing: the majority of men ain't trying to do it because majority of men, their nature is territorial. So let's not talk about
but would
a
you want to
few.
share a man? Would you share a man?
Yeah, I will share a man. What part of the nature is polygyny? Men are not capable of love. I'm not looking for no man to give me something that he ain't capable of. The majority of men ain't capable of doing nothing but having sex and using you to fulfill their needs. That's all men are doing. Why the hell would I try to keep that to myself? I
So,
don't mind.
but I'm just saying. So when you look at a male partner, for instance, like I know you got your book, you got your tour. I know you got thing coming up on the 14th in Atlanta.
Mhm,
You're a very busy person. Plus, you drive a truck as well. So
mhm.
now, and you can I ask you, are you single?
Yes, I'm single.
Okay, so if somebody says, well, you know what, I'm gonna hold that question because that's the interview question. But
Oh, we
I
got
do
the
want
interview.
to
We ain't
say,
started the interview. Oh, we got to start the interview because I got an interview that I got to do at 9 o'clock.
okay, so we'll do a part two of this and we'll continue this interview another time. But
Okay.
let's start the interview. So you told me where you was, told me where you from. Um, so uh, we live in a society where things are not as they seem, and you shouldn't
Hmm.
judge a book by the so-called cover. Uh,
Hmm.
so before I start, I would like to know or ask you how you identify and what are you attracted to?
I'm a cis heterosexual woman, and I'm attracted to men.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Only because some of these answers, people look back at this, uh, your perception probably will be, judged off, what you like and how you identify. So with that being said, um, you know, you're very active in the culture community. You have a book, like we already talked about. You got a thing coming up on the 14th. You got other events. People can go on your website. They can also buy courses to help themselves, things of that nature. You're very
Hmm.
busy. So,
Hmm.
um, you work hard. Like,
Hmm.
do you have time for yourself? I mean, you're on the road. Like, how do you have time for yourself? How do you manage that?
It's real simple, right? First and foremost, this is my divine purpose. So I'm built for this. So I have a lot of energy that keeps me going. When I get tired or whatever, I know when to shut everything out and I shut it out. Even if it's just for 5 hours, I shut it out. And I love jazz music. I don't listen to rap music. I don't like upbeat music. Upbeat music shatters my ability to think because all I do is think. So I need smooth music that will allow my brainwave patterns to function properly. So typically what I get when I get to the point where I'm drained on energy, because I will run my batteries until they're drained,
Yeah.
completely drained. And it takes about a week and a half because I get up early every day. It takes about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks before I become totally drained. Once I get to that point, I shut everything out. I light candles, run a nice bath. I get Epsom salts and all kind of stuff. I light candles and I turn my jazz music on, right? And I'm able to peacefully recover. I do not interact with the public when I'm in my downtime mode. I only need a few hours. I don't need a lot because I get very energized for doing what I'm doing, right? I get energized when I do these interviews. See, this is not draining me. This is actually giving me energy. So by the time I get off with you and I get ready to do my next interview, I'm going to be fully amped. And typically, I don't get off till 1 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes I don't go to bed till 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, right? So
Yeah.
I got a lot of energy to do this, right? So it's no problem. But when I need that time to myself, I shut everything out, and it's only me, right?
Fair enough. Okay. Fair enough. Very well.
Mm-hmm.
Very well. So, I think perception is key. I'm a firm believer in the divergence of masculine and feminine energy, uh,
Mm-hmm.
genders, energies, whatever. I feel
Mm-hmm.
men and women have their roles. Some of those are interchangeable, some of those are not. In regards to the perceived definition of gender roles, what is a man's role? What is a woman's role? Or does that construct even exist?
No, it don't exist because you don't get to tell someone where they function the best at, right? Because you go with the flow. First and foremost, men and women both have masculine and feminine energy. No life, I mean, no life on this face of this planet, not an atom, not the sun, not the universe, not an ant, not nobody can exist without the composition of both masculine and feminine counterparts. So both the male and female have masculine and feminine counterparts. If you understand anything about astrology, right? You will understand that some planets are masculine planets. These planets have an effect on your personality. I'm Aquarius. Aquarius is a masculine sign, right?
Mm,
So masculine energy is nothing more than work ethic, willpower and determination. That's what masculine energy is. So one of the reasons why I have so much energy to do this because one, I'm a masculine sign. I have a lot of masculine energy, which means I have a lot of willpower, a lot of work ethic, and a lot of drive. When I put my mind to do something, I can do it and I can stick to it and I can see it through to the end. This is what masculine energy is. Just because a male is in a male body does not mean he has a lot of masculine energy. He could have a lot of feminine energy. People who people who imagine, because feminine energy is about creativity and imagination, right?
mm-hmm.
Ideas and things of that sort. A person who daydreams, thinks and say, "Oh, one day I'm gonna do this, one day I'm gonna do that," and all they think about is dreaming and goals, but they never. That person is operating in feminine energy. The majority of people operate in feminine energy and have a low level of masculine energy. Remember, prayer without works is dead. Masculine energy is work. So a man who ain't doing is not masculine. You cannot tell me a person with a boatload of masculine energy. That means I got a boatload of willpower, a boatload of drive, a boatload of work ethic and determination.
Right.
You cannot tell me that my role is to sit still and let you do. I'm not the type of person that's going to put my hands because I'm all about responsibility. Remember, to be a leader is to take on responsibility. I'm not finna give up my life and put it in the hands of somebody who was lower in masculine energy than my damn self.
That make great that make good sense. I don't I don't like lazy men, and
Mhm.
not to say, and I've never actually said this, but I've always thought like you acting like a bitch right now. Man, get up, like help me move this furniture, like
Mhm.
because I really feel like, I've had this conversation with my son, like um your life is not together. You don't have time to be talking to women. You have things to do. Get up. Why are you? I'm up. Why are you sleeping? That's
Right.
like that's how I be feeling. Like,
Right.
but to put it in that perspective, that actually makes very very good sense.
Because
Um,
that's what masculine energy is. See, here's the thing. No woman is masculine and feminine energy do not attract each other. People keep saying they attract each other. No, no, they fucking don't. Attraction is a feminine thing. Masculine energy is a go getter. It's a go getter energy. It's a moving energy. Masculine energy does not stay still, it moves right the same way that masculine energy does. Feminine energy is a still energy, right? It pulls energy towards it. So, masculine energy goes to get feminine energy. It directs all of its energy towards the feminine counterpart. The feminine only pulls the masculine energy towards it. So when a woman is attracted to a man, it is not the masculine energy that attracts her to him. It is the feminine energy that the masculine energy acquired that begins to attract her attention. Because have you ever heard of the saying that say, "Build it and the people will come"?
yeah,
You ever heard that?
I have.
That means masculine energy does the work to build the attraction, which is the feminine. So everything that attracts your attention to go get it is feminine in nature. It's feminine in nature. So money, cars, clothes, houses, jewelry, all of that is feminine. And the feminine is what attracts the feminine. It's not the masculine.
That's
So,
true. I see that because
yeah, that's why
women like,
pimps.
and I, I had this conversation with one of the doctors I work with, and she was asking me about her purse. Like she had like a $15,000 purse,
Mhm.
and it was a like a Birkin bag or something. And I said, "Oh, I never seen one of those." And she was like, "Oh, she was like, oh, they gonna hate me now." I was like, "Men don't care about that shit. Like,
Right.
we don't know those brands. I mean, but
Right.
there are men who do. But most men, we don't care about your red bottoms or your Gucci. What we care about what you look like how you smell. Like we don't. And when I've always said that when you look at men who are trying to attract women, they dress like them. They want to
Right.
wear Gucci. They want to wear, and not listen. I'm not knocking nobody who likes Gucci or Saint Laurent and all that stuff. Those are feminine brands to me.
But
I wear
that's it.
it is what,
But
but women are very attracted to that. They love the luxury.
that's because here's the thing. Men were not created to worship men. Men were created to worship women. Everything is centered around the feminine. Everything. So a man who despises the feminine don't get no fucking women. Because when you go back to the pimp culture, how pimps used to dress: pink
Yeah,
Cadillac,
Yeah.
furs, because it's the feminine that attracts the feminine, because the feminine is the attractor. When you look at a battery, every single thing that got a hole or a negative sign that ain't got no thing sticking out of it is feminine in nature. So this light, this right here, is got a plug towards it.
Right.
This is the feminine. The value is in the fucking light. The male end ain't nothing but a power cord. It's the force, it's the energy that is given to the light to turn the light on. It works like this on all levels. Everything that got a hole is a feminine product. Your house is feminine. Your lights are feminine. The cameras that you using are feminine. How you gonna hate the feminine in everything that's centered around your life is feminine. Men who despise the feminine do not get the feminine. You got to appreciate the feminine counterpart, because that's where all the wisdom, that's where all the power is. It's in the woman, it's in the divine feminine. So this is why the music industry round these dudes up, and they put a bunch of jewelry on them, because without the jewelry ain't nobody paying attention to these dudes.
100%.
So the fact of the matter is, you can ascertain the level of masculine energy that a man has based on how much feminine energy he acquires. This is why a woman ain't paying you no attention unless you got money, cars, clothes, status, because all of those things are feminine in nature, because masculine energy is a go-getter energy. That means it requires work ethic to
Yes.
obtain money. Ain't nobody giving you no motherfucking money just to throw you no money. They don't give money away. You work for money.
But
So
I
just like
think
you
that's if
work
you
for
a
money.
man. If you a woman,
No, that's
can,
it's again. It's a You're not listening.
I'm sorry.
Masculine energy. You can determine the level of masculine energy in somebody as it's a go-getter energy. So when you're looking at a man who is the manifestation of the masculine counterpart in the physical plane, you can ascertain his level of masculine energy based on how much feminine energy he acquires, because masculine energy is a go-getter energy. A man who does not acquire feminine energy is low in masculine energy, which is the reason why he don't attract women. It's not the masculine that attracts women. It's the feminine that the masculine acquires. So men hate that women like them because they acquire money status. That's the way it works on all planes. So men take this hatred attitude because he got to fucking work for the feminine and he don't want to fucking work.
I see, but I see that the opposite way, because I feel like when you have things like, I live in a nice house. I drive a very nice car. It's a lot easier to talk to women. They give, because when I was saving up before I bought my house and everything, and I drove a fucking Honda. I mean, I could talk to girls, but I had to make them laugh. It took some work. But now,
I
I
just
drive a
said
nice car,
that.
and it's but I'm saying, I don't. I feel like what you're saying is that men hate that, but I feel like I think
No,
every
they
man
do.
aspires to that.
No, 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 they hate it because here's the thing.
Oh, you sound like a lazy man. Hate that shit.
Here's the thing. What did Jay-Z say in his song? Can I get a what? Can I get a fuck you, right? Can I hit it in the morning
Yeah,
without giving you half of my dough? If I
right.
was broke, even worse, would you want me? Men keep belittling women because they don't want them when they broke.
I
So
got
let's
okay. I
so
misunderstood. I got you.
so
Okay.
so let's stop focusing on what I like. The world don't revolve around you. Look outside and listen to men. They do not like the fact that women only want to fuck with them when they got something. That's the nature of masculine energy. Nobody is fucking with masculine energy that's low, because masculine energy is a moving energy. The only way that you can determine how much masculine energy a person has is based on how much they acquire, because it's work. So here's the thing: the reason why men, I got my notifications as I'm talking to you right now, my notifications are blowing up on my YouTube. And you know what all these notifications are saying? Oh, you a man. All these dudes are criticizing me and telling me that I'm a man. You know why? You want to know what video it's on? It's on the video where I'm telling these men that I was commissioned as a officer in the military, that I went to school for cell and molecular biology, that I have a PMP certification. I'm a certified project manager. I'm a top salesman in the car industry. All of these things that I have acquired through willpower and work ethic, just because I've acquired all of that with a bunch of hard work, got them telling me, oh, you made yourself into the perfect man, because they're
Okay.
judging me
Yeah.
based on what I have acquired, because only masculine energy acquires that shit through work ethic. Because you can tell the level of masculine energy that a person has based on what they acquire through hard work.
You
A
know what?
man,
I
go ahead.
see that because, and so I kind of, okay, so I think I just got some clarification. Um, I don't like bum ass women, me personally, because I work hard.
Mm-hmm.
And my issue
Right.
is when you, I'm not, and you know, people like who they like, but when people don't work hard, they take you for granted because they don't
Right.
have shit, and you know, take it. And people can take it how they want to take it, but I feel like when I deal with somebody, especially, I get you busy because I'm busy. I get it. Um, I like to fly first class. I know it costs a lot, but I like to be
Right.
comfortable. I like to.
Right.
I don't stay in shitty places when I travel because I don't want to get robbed
Right.
and I want to be safe. And people are accustomed to what they used to. And women, men and women, a man will look at a woman and see that she drive a Benz, she got on a
Mm-hmm.
Rolex, and say, I want to say shit to her. And
Right.
I
Because
be
it's
like,
much work.
and my thing is like, that's the only bitch here I want to talk to. Because that's the only
Right.
person who's gonna be able to help me do anything. Because the rest of these girls, they need my help. She don't need my help. You know, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't. But so this, and I do want to. I'm sorry, I do want to move on to the next question. But what I want to ask you is, why do men see it like that? Like, why would you look at something that needs all your help that you probably can't really help without taking so much time versus somebody who's already there to where you just gotta
It's real
either
simple.
work together or they might be able to help you. Like you never know. Like
It,
so why would you
it's real
chase the
simple.
lower thing?
It's real simple, because men have an innate fear within them of being useless on this planet. Because here's the thing: every single thing on planet in this universe is composed of masculine and feminine energy. Everything. But to what degree is masculine and feminine energy in each person, right? So, what men are on this planet, the male is a physical manifestation of masculine, of the masculine counterpart on the material plane. So what I'm saying is this: it takes charger and the light to combine to turn the light on, right?
Mm-hmm.
All of the wisdom, the computer chips, everything that needs to function to turn the light on is inside of the feminine device. But this, all you need is a power source, which is the masculine counterpart, Remember, masculine energy is a power source. It's work ethic, willpower, and drive. Faith without work is what? Dead. So you have to have the action. Masculine energy is an action energy. The power cord is an action energy that brings to life the light inside of the feminine counterpart, which is the actual light. So they need to work together to create the beauty of life, in this case, light, right? So men have a little access to feminine energy. This is too small to have as many computer chips and shit in it as this does, right? But inside of this has also access to masculine energy inside of it. So both of these devices or these pieces have masculine and feminine energy in them. But you can tell that this don't have as much feminine energy as this device does. And this don't have as much, but it's got some masculine energy as this because it can't turn itself on, right? So what has occurred is on the physical plane, men are a physical manifestation of the masculine counterpart on the physical plane. And his main power source is testosterone, which causes him to move because sexual energy is the most powerful energy on the face of this planet. This energy gets him to move because masculine energy is a moving energy. Women have a small amount of testosterone, and testosterone is needed for her to have a sex drive, right? But it's low enough to keep her still, right? But here is where this gets slightly complicated. You have the effects of planetary alignments that give you another access to masculine and feminine energy, right? That requires you to pull it internally through self control and discipline. So, what is going on is men know, since they are the physical manifestation of the masculine counterpart on the physical plane, men know unequivocally that they are on this planet to do something. They know they own the planet to do something because that's the only thing they need it for. That's their job, to do something. It's a moving energy. A man without this charger, this charging cable has no purpose without the fucking phone. It's useless without something to plug into. But guess what? This device is not useless even if you don't have a charger connected to it. Because guess what? It's got a whole bunch of wisdom inside of it that you can use if you take it apart. This, you could just throw it away. It has no use without being plugged up to something. So men cannot exist on this planet with a purpose without feminine energy. But
Mhm.
feminine energy can exist without masculine energy. And what men do not like is the fact that this light can keep rolling without a charger plugged up to it. So this is the bitch with her own house, her own car, and this is him knowing that he got something to do to be able to connect to this and he can't. So he's feeling insecure and he needs somebody to make him feel purposeful. So he will get a woman that don't know nothing, that will give him access to plug himself into her to make him feel useful. Because a male, a cable that's not plugged into a device is totally useless. And
So
men
if
are afraid of being
in the
useless.
retrospect to the light, so you're saying like so the woman who's already successful, because she doesn't need the power source, that person feels like they're invalid.
Correct.
Okay, fair enough.
The 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 cable don't have no purpose without something to plug it into. So men, here's the thing. The plug needs the phone. The plug needs the computer. The plug needs something to plug into, and without it, it has no purpose, right? I drive trucks. The truck itself, the semi itself in the trucking industry is called the power unit. The power unit has no purpose in the truck industry without the trailer. The trailer is the feminine counterpart. Without the trailer, nobody is in the industry is fucking with the truck because you need the trailer to carry the fucking goods,
Right.
right? So a truck without a trailer is purposeless and directionless. Why would you drive a semi truck around town just to drive that motherfucker to go to McDonald's?
Well, all them goddamn gears.
Look, right.
Yeah.
That's the average dude.
Yeah.
He's a fucking semi truck with no trailer going to McDonald's with an 18 speed. Yeah. Drive around town with a goddamn 18 speed.
Hey, but you know what? But so with that analogy, I could see, and I'm gonna move on. But I could see why men could have fear because, okay, so let's say a woman does get with a powerful man because she's feminine and she attracts that masculine energy. But let's say she have a couple of kids, uh, and let's say he's like, let's say like a Chris Brown. So then she don't want him no more. But she can
Mhm.
take that energy. So because she can get that child support, she can take that house because they've been together for 3 or 4 years and they married. So
Did he hit her?
of course he did. They got kids.
Okay, you got to pay for that shit. You can't just hit somebody and then think you aren't supposed to suffer no repercussions. Put
But
your
I
hand.
think a lot of men fear that because for a man, like your financial stability is your power. Like a man without
Because
money
that's
ain't shit in this society.
right, because he got to work to get it, and he got to work so hard. Because here's the thing: the reason why men are so fearful is because they have to put in a lot of work to control their sexual urges, right?
Mm-hmm.
It is the sexual nature that got these men doing nothing, right? Because they focus all of their mental attention on fucking. So a man who actually can control that somewhat and be able to accomplish money, which is basic shit, really, is seen as God. And he's afraid of losing the a little bit that he gets because the majority of men ain't making 500,000, a million, 10 million. So these guys' fear is irrational because the majority of them need a woman's help to get any fucking where, right? What's she taking from you? Half the money that she motherfucking adding to the goddamn income? If
But I
you
mean, but if you a weaker man, but I'm just saying like for a man like and even for
but that's the
myself,
majority.
I felt that way. But the issue is you got to pick the right woman, and nothing is 100%. But if you take your time and pick the right woman, I feel like that counterpart, like you said, it will help you. So you go from making 80,000 a year to 140 because she's like, oh, stop doing this and start doing that, and this will be better because her vision is totally different than yours. Because men pretty much see in black and white, and women have fucking full color stream.
Which
So,
tells you, which right there tells you that men ain't the leader. How the hell you gonna see in black and white, and then you say that the woman that see in full color stream is the help meet? No, bitch, you the help meet. You the black and white motherfucker. You the basic motherfucker. All right, because black and white is basic. Okay, a
but the man
multi-level
is still the
colored.
leader because the man has to
No,
die.
no,
Whoever has to
no,
die
no.
is in charge.
That's no, that's not the fucking case. That is not the case because no, it's not. No, it's not because here's the thing. General Patton had to send soldiers out from the head to go die. It's the foot soldiers that's dying while the doggone leaders, the 5-star generals, are not on the battlefield in the same way. That's not the case. Just because you risk your life don't mean that you're the fucking leader, right?
But I'm saying
So
in terms of
the
the
leaders,
household, not the battlefield, but in terms of the
no, it's
household.
that no, no, but everything is the same, right? So even in the nucleus of a cell, right?
Hmm.
The white blood cells are not inside of the nucleus. They're out fighting diseases. They risk their life. The nucleus, they ain't what everything that's in the nucleus ain't out there risking their life like the white blood cells. So here's the thing: men want to feel needed and they want to feel superior because patriarchy told y'all that's y'all role. So you want a woman to take the back seat to fulfill your ego needs. I don't care about your ego needs. I care about functionality. And the fact of the matter is, a woman has a more functional brain than a male. The male, seeing in black and white, is the basic thinker. He is not the creative thinker, right? So he is the true helpmeet because the woman is doing the majority of the work. She's doing the majority of the think labor. So here's the thing: the value is in the phone. It is in the computer chips. The computer chips is feminine. It's not masculine. The phone is feminine. The value is here. So the male is nothing more than a go-getter. He listens to what the woman suggests and he go do. That's
So,
his role,
so
to
are you
go
saying
do.
that like the male's the gun, but the woman's pulling the trigger?
Huh?
So the
Yeah.
male's the gun, but the woman's pulling the
Yes.
trigger?
Yes. Yes. That's
Okay.
exactly what I'm saying. So here's the thing: you're saying it and you don't even realize you're saying it. Well, men need a woman to help because women do this, and she might have to tell me because she can see things. But the fact of the matter is, the male is the damn help me, but he fighting it. Just accept your place and let the woman give you the vision, and you just go do. Instead of trying to take on the responsibilities that you're not actually capable of. You're not the head. The woman is, but you can be the head of your position, right? That's what you need to be. You need to be the head of your position and not try to be the head of the woman. Let the woman guide you and you go do. That's all men need to do. But they want to put all of the labor on a woman. Here's the thing: polygyny was the original setup. And so men didn't get to choose which woman he was going to fuck. Because the male brain, when he get access to sex, the region of the brain that is in control of reward is what lights up when men get sex, when they get access to women. Sex and access to women is a reward for men.
Right.
Men did not have the ability to pick and choose no woman at his motherfucking beck and call. What women was minding their own business in a community amongst themselves, and a higher elevated man, the women got amongst themselves and say, okay, we gonna choose them, choose this one, and they shared that motherfucking penis between the 12 of them or the 13 of them. They chose him. And if he got out of line, they had the power in numbers to keep him in check. And if he didn't do what he was supposed to do as man, they were able to kick him out. He did not have control over the woman, and he did what they said to do. He was able to operate at the maximum capability of his nature and not outside of that. And he got the reward of being accepted in a community of women, which the community of women didn't have all of the weight plugged on one woman. It was a bunch of things that those women was doing, and he got to experience the heaven on earth by being accepted into a community of women. That's how the truth of this shit went, right? So I do not promote men being in control and leading women. The man's job is to lead himself. Period. To rise up to the level where he can be accepted into a community of women who are already there because they are created to be there. The reason why we have issues in the community right now is because patriarchy pulled the woman out of her divinity and brought her down to the level of a man and divided and conquered them. So it destroyed the doggone community. It destroyed men. It destroyed the children. It destroyed everything. Women need to go back to polygyny. They need to go back to a matriarchal concept, and they need to go back to understanding that men ain't capable of love, and they are only capable of operating within the laws of self-preservation. When a man raises himself up and self-develops to a level where he can practically function and coexist with a woman, that is when the group of women accept him and he can partake in the pleasures of being amongst all those women. And it won't be a motherfucking problem with you having sex with all of those women, because none of
Ooh, that
those
shit do
women,
not exist. Not right now. It don't.
now
Goddamn.
it don't
That see, and
exist right
really,
now.
men dream it. Now take that back. It exists over in the Middle East. It don't exist over here.
It don't
But keep
even
in
exist really
mind,
over
over
there, because it don't exist over there because they are doing it under patriarchal control.
right. So that they
See,
don't. So it's really
no,
the
yeah,
men marrying just marrying women.
right, yeah, 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 and that ain't what I'm talking about. I'm
I know
talking
you
about
saying,
putting
but the
women.
women being in control and the man ascending to be able to be on
Yes,
that plane with them.
exactly.
Like
That's
I
the
said,
divine nature of
I
it.
don't think that'll happen because I feel like even now
It
I do
will
okay,
in time.
but even as a man, let's say let's say one of my patents did well and somebody buying $100 million. Okay, the $100 million I can take care of a couple of women. Even if
Mhm.
I sat down with five women and said, "Listen, this is what it's going to be," I don't think it'll last.
It's not going to last because you're dealing with a poison of patriarchy. What I'm talking about is shifting the whole way society works. This shit ain't going to happen overnight. It ain't supposed to happen overnight, right? What I'm trying to tell you is I got the philosophy, the wisdom that the creator has given me to shift everything back into its natural divine state. So I'm doing the footwork. I'm the beginning of the footwork. So when it is back in its natural divine state, which I might not even be living to see it, and I plan on living to about 90 years old. It's probably going to be a whole fucking century before you can start seeing the effects of, before you can really start seeing the effects of the footwork that I put in nearly 100 years ago. Right. So, but the natural divine order, which is how the entire universe works, the entire universe works this way. I'm not coming up with no new concept. What I'm trying to do is correct what patriarchy fucked up, because patriarchy f- knocked everything out of divinity, because every man was never meant to get a woman.
You know what? So I'm gonna stop
No.
right there, because I feel like we could talk about this, but I want to get to the rest of these questions. But
Right.
um, that sounds like a movie. Uh, you should think about that. That sounds like a movie.
Hmm.
And I feel like even myself, men want more than one woman. But it's problematic. Dealing with another woman can mess up your relationship. You end up in court, and women know you want to be with other women. They don't give a shit. But it's like I think if somebody really looked at it from a scientific level, it would make sense. But I don't. Most women are more concerned with how they feel, not what is. So I
No,
think
no,
and
no.
and,
It's
and,
not.
and,
It's
and
not that.
men are not like that. Men
No,
they
no.
were
It's
very
not that.
simple, like you said. Like
No, it's not that. That's not it. I'm telling you, the issue with women is they've been sold bullshit through patriarchy. It's not that the woman is emotional. First and foremost, they divide patriarchy divided women up. First of all, they outlawed polygyny. Outlawing polygyny had nothing to do with men. It had to do with dividing and conquering women, because women are the community. The power is in the community. A nation can rise no higher than its woman. So monogamy was a tactic to destroy the community of women. And then to squelch the nature of a man, because in order for a man to reach his highest level, he had to work, because sex and women is a reward for a man. So
right,
when you give men easy access to fulfill their needs, you squelch his desire, you squelch his ability to work. So monogamy did two things. It killed the community and it destroyed the man. It did another thing. It caused a population a boom and inflated the world with too many men for men to compete with against women. I mean, for women. So patriarchy really fucked up this entire world because patriarchy is anti-nature. The nature of everything in this entire universe is feminine energy surrounding a small amount of masculine energy. That is the way this shit work. And they knocked this shit out of divine order. So the reason why the woman can't get it is because patriarchy poisoned her mind to look outside of herself for something that the man is not capable of giving her. It's the truth because
No, no, no.
men are
I'm laughing because you said it's supposed to be feminine energy surrounding a a small piece of masculine energy. But
yes,
when you look at the everything is made in the world off of elements. But and when you look at an element, uh, every element has a neutron in the middle and is surrounded by electrons, which is E.
correct.
E, E, E.
And right, electrons are feminine, right?
Right.
So you have you have protons, which are the positive charge, which is masculine energy, right? And you have the neutrons inside of there to contain, because masculine energy pushes apart, it repels each other. So to keep the nucleus together, you have to have the neutron, which is a neutral party, to keep that tight masculine energy together. Then you have the electrons that surround that masculine energy, and it's more than one fucking electron in the electron cloud.
Right.
So everything in nature, in this entire universe, feminine energy surrounds the masculine energy, but in order for the masculine energy to be surrounded, there has to be a power source, a go-getter. The masculine energy go gets the feminine. That's the way it works. So now you have an excess amount of males on the planet who are low in masculine energy because the patriarchy gave them women and everything. It gave them jobs, it gave them women, it gave them food, it gave them all of that, destroying the level of energy or masculine energy that would have had the man working, which was in his nature. And now that those controls have been removed, the male, the new breed male, is out of divine order, and he don't know how to generate that masculine energy because
Nah.
they neutralized his ass. He's
The
completely
newer the male,
neutralized.
the more feminine.
Right. The more feminine. So he's neutralized, right? And when I'm talking about feminine, I ain't talking about wearing dresses and all of that. I'm talking
No,
about
no. His
no
perception,
action.
the way he
Right.
act, he lazy.
No
Yeah.
action. Right. Laziness. I'm talking about no action. Right. So the male has been neutralized, and all of this happened so that the powers that be can stay at the top and keep people from overthrowing them. So they turn nature around, they turn the tables of nature and told you that God was a man to make you go anti-nature, because the fact of the matter is you got to force yourself to worship a man God, but you don't have to force yourself to worship nothing feminine. You worship the money, you worship the cars, you worship the clothes, you worship the ass, the titties. You were made by nature to worship the fucking feminine, but the patriarchy made you worship masculine, which you have to go to church, read the Bible, and program yourself to go anti-nature. You got to program yourself to stop thinking about sex. You
You
got to
know what? And it's
program
crazy
yourself.
because then when you get into your natural environment, your natural feeling is sin. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
I mean, that's.
Right.
I gotta stop right there because this is very good, but I gotta stop right there. So I know you gotta go, but and I have a couple more questions. So
Yeah, go ahead.
even with that being said, we'll continue that conversation another time. And
Hmm.
I have a couple ideas. So so we talked about you. So you said that they are that construct doesn't exist. So,
Right.
Princella the Queen Maker. What does that mean? Where'd you get that from? Where'd they come up with?
Actually, somebody on TikTok gave that to me, right?
Okay,
Because
okay.
somebody said that I was a queen, and then in the comments, somebody said, "Girl, you ain't a queen. You ain't just a queen. You are a queen maker." Then I told one of my other social media friends that somebody said that. He was like, "That's your new brand.
Yeah.
Go ahead and get the domain name for it." And I was like, "So I didn't even come up with that. Other people came up with that for me, right?" So the thing is, a queen is a power piece, power, right? And to be in power, the most powerful piece on the chessboard, life is a game. It's the game of life. And the most powerful piece on the chessboard, which is the game of life, is the queen. And why is she powerful? The queen is the most powerful piece on the chessboard because the queen got the ability to move in a way that no other piece can move. She is free to move about the chessboard in any way that she wants to, uninhibited, right? Now, think about this in everyday terms. Most men, when they commit crimes, who do they fucking use as the decoy? They use a woman. Because you know what? They know that men will falter and lose focus behind sex. So a woman can go in spaces that another man can't go undetected. The most powerful piece on in life and on that damn chessboard is a motherfucking woman. Freedom is power. When you even look up the definition of power, it's going to tell you not under the control or the authority of another. Queens do not submit because the definition of submit means to place oneself under the control of another. Baby, you cannot be a queen in submission because queens are free. That means they are powerful, right? So I teach women to free themselves from bondage, mental slavery, emotional slavery, spiritual slavery, financial slavery, physical slavery, and sexual slavery. Freedom is equivalent to power, right? And so I have the wisdom because I got 24 years of education in life through human behavior, through psychology and science to be able to put the woman back in a powerful position that will raise this nation because a man ain't never gonna rise. The only thing that's gonna make that man rise is his inability to have access to what fulfills his needs, which is a goddamn woman. So a nation can rise no higher than its woman. That means the woman cannot be within reach of a man. And the only way that he can get to her is if he fucking elevates because he wants to have access to that heaven on earth. So when I put women back in that true power position, he either going to sink or motherfucking swim. And men are mad because they know they need women. They need women for everything. They need women for sex. They need women for ego stroking. They need women for their social connections. They need women for company because they scared to die alone. Men need women because they cannot exist without her. And he's mad that he knows that she can exist without him and that she don't need him as much as he knows that he needs her.
You
So in
know, if
order,
sorry, go ahead.
hmm?
No, I was gonna say
So in
like
order,
if and it's funny you say that because I've always felt that you can look at society and it reflects a woman's standards. When you if women said, okay, this is you need a master's degree to be in this pussy, colleges would be sold out
hmm
like future tickets. But as
hmm
long as women are saying that I want this, I want that type, that type, that type, that's what men strive to. Like
but the
I
only
to
reason
a
that
certain
they
extent,
want
I don't
that
even
type,
think these niggas hustling for money at this point. I think that
the only
they
reason
know
they want
women like that shit, so they gonna do that shit.
But the only reason that they want that is because patriarchy divided them up, pumped pumped them, right? Because they destroyed the community by giving every man a woman, took the resources away because women need resources. They don't need men. They took the resources, gave it to men, forced women to compete against each other for men who had resources, and a bunch of shit to bring women from the pedestal that they were on to the motherfucking ground. And so then they brainwashed nation after nation or generation after generation till you practically brought the woman down to the level of a fucking man. So, in order to fix this, one, you got to make people aware of where this shit then went fucked up at, and everything is rooted in patriarchy because patriarchy is anti-nature. You have to send this shit back into its divine nature. When you look at schools and everything, the daycares are run by women, schools are run by women, everything is run by women because that's the nature of a woman. It was communal, but the problem is that the community has been poisoned with patriarchal philosophy and women are at each other's throats. There is no true community. Okay, so people have to first be made aware of what the root of the problem is, because when you cure the problem, all the symptoms go away. Everybody's steady focused on the symptoms to the problem. The root of the issue is patriarchy. That's the root.
So if you remove
Shift
the
this.
patriarchy, you think everything will
Yes,
so
it will begin to go back in its natural divine way. But here's the thing: patriarchy injected toxic philosophies that have to be debugged. People have to be debugged of these toxic philosophies that patriarchy pushed in their mind. So even if you remove the controls, right, of patriarchy, let's say you shifted patriarchy, took patriarchy away today and put everything back into the hands of a woman, it wouldn't be fixed. You know why? Because women are still operating on the philosophies of patriarchy that got them fucked up.
it's like
So when
systematic.
it's systematic, so what you have to do is you have to put them back in the true knowledge of everything, which is where I come into play at.
Okay, so
I
wait before you move forward, because I don't want you to answer this question before I ask it. So I think that's what you're finna do. But my next question is, um, when you look at relationships that go beyond coitus and loitering, so just fucking and wasting time. When you look at a relationship beyond that, what should the true goal of a relationship be?
Well, here's the thing: people who are looking for relationships are looking to get their needs met for free.
Hmm.
Anybody looking for a relationship is deficient and they looking for another person to fulfill their needs.
So
Eh,
so when she say I need a man, or when he say I need a woman, you're just saying I need somebody to fulfill something else. It's not.
yes, yes, yes. So what I'm trying to get women to do is not need relationships, to not even want, because everything that a woman needs is within herself and the community of women. Once women get to that place, there will be no need to seek outside of themselves for men to provide something that he can't provide, which means women will become more resistant, which causes men to work harder to get the women, because now women don't have deficiencies and holes that have them looking for love in all the wrong places, that as a result of them being deficient they end up with a bunch of kids that they don't need and don't want and all of that. It is because of all of these deficiencies. When she heals those deficiencies and sees what men are and are not capable of, she can become more resistant to men's advances, forcing them to elevate themselves, which will make the community better, because you put men back into their natural divine place of having to work and develop himself. The man's purpose on this planet is to develop himself and to become a balanced, self-actualized person. He has to do a lot of work to do that, and he'll never do it having access to women. So women have to make themselves inaccessible. And the only way that she's going to make herself inaccessible is to realize that men are not capable of love, and that everything that she's looking for comes from within, and she needs to heal her relationships with other women. That will solve the problem right there.
Okay, so now this, I definitely want to know the answer to this question. So
Mm-hmm.
you have a unique philosophy.
Mm-hmm.
What turns you on? Like, I mean, so like if I don't know, I mean, I don't think it's riches. I don't think it's attention. Like, so if it like
You got that
if a
right?
man wants Priscilla's attention, man, what he got to do? Like how does someone get your attention? How does somebody attract you?
Well, first and foremost, I would never tell somebody what they need to do to lie to me. Okay. Um, right. All I need to see is who he is. Show me
Okay,
you. Show me who you are, and I will determine if you for me or not. Right. Because one thing is, I don't like bullshit, and you can't buy me because I'm not materialistic. Okay. You can't do that. The only thing that you can do is be motherfucking true and real and who you are. And if you don't know who that is, I'm not going to tell you who that is, right? All you got to do is show me. And you're not going to be able to do any motherfucking thing to hide and lie. I'm going to be able to peep right through you. So I'm not going to ever tell a man what I want or what I need or what I'm looking for. And here's the thing, because I have a divine purpose, I will never be lonely. You see, I got so much charisma. Man, I ain't never going to be without no damn friends. I ain't gonna never be without somewhere to go. I'll be able to travel this entire world because my whole desire in on this planet is to be able to experience life in its total fullness. I want to be able to experience what the creator has created on this planet. So to the day that I die, I'm always gonna be learning. Always, right? So I ain't never gonna be alone. I don't need a man's company. I don't need his company. So he got to be something I want. And if he ain't, I don't want nothing to do with him. I don't have no pussy to give you. I don't have no ego stroking. I'm not trying to cook for you. I ain't trying to do a motherfucking thing for you because I don't need you. You don't validate me, right? You don't put a stamp of approval on me. Either you the motherfucker that the creator want me to be around or you ain't. And if you ain't, I'm not gonna lose no sleep at all. Because I
you
got
know
way too much to do on this planet.
that sounds like to me like of course I didn't live in these days, but like in the early part of the century where when the duchess or princess or whatever came to age, she had to pick a
Hmm.
suitor. So you have these suitors like coming from all over the land, 30, 40 suitors, and she's just kind of interviewing men trying to see which one she's going to take for a husband. And they
Hmm.
would bring her gifts, and they would put on these shows, and some would do art, and it was like, and then basically they basically sit there and in their pose, and then she just be like, I'll take that one. Like,
Right.
but that's the kind of
That's that's pretty much what it
uh,
is. It's like, see, when you leave a motherfucker in the dark, right? And they don't know how to pretend to be some shit that they ain't. It's real hard for them to fake. Now they got to come correct. And since I see so well, right? And you can't run game on me because I know game. You man, you're not gonna a dude ain't gonna waste his time on me because most dudes are out to get something from a woman, and you're not finna get nothing out of me, so you might as well not even waste your damn time. Cause I'm not finna give you nothing. I tell you, I'm the type of person. I'm like this. Hey, mama, you ain't got to worry about trying to take no man from me, cause I'm gonna let you have him. I'm gonna give them to you, right? But before I give them to you, because I don't compete with women. If a woman let me know that she in competition or she thinks she in competition, I'm gonna use the very penis that you so desperate for to break you. I'm gonna make sure that if you think you in competition with me, the dude that claim he want to be with me, I'm gonna make sure he take you for everything that you got and have you doing the most egregious shit, licking between his dusty ass toes on camera. And I want him to bring it to me. And then once he break you for your money, then I'm gonna tell him that he can go be with you because I don't want nothing to do with him. Right? I don't compete against women. Right? I don't compete against women, and I don't keep men Men can do whatever the fuck they want to do. I don't care, right? Because I know men are not capable of love. You can't love me, so you can't dangle that shit over my face, over my head. You're not capable of being no high level individual. So most likely, what'll end up happening is I'll end up just having a rotation of motherfucking dudes. I just had me some hoes. I might go shoot pool with one, go to the movies, or do some go mountain climbing with another one. Because men are not capable of being full human beings. They need to use women for something.
But
So
I think women, women in
I
retrospect.
don't date women.
No, but I'm
I
just
don't
saying,
fuck
like
women. So I don't care.
it, like, but as a man, women play those type of games too. Like a woman, and I think it's very valid what you say that when somebody looking for a relationship, they're looking for something, and then women will even get
Right.
to the point to like women like certain type of men because they can put their foot on
Mm-hmm.
their neck. It depending on the type of woman it is. But you got some men who will do anything for pussy because they don't have shit else to
Mm-hmm.
do. Like so, if a woman see like okay, not only are you about your shit, are you look nice, you smell nice, you got a nice car, like I invited you over, you talking about some you busy, so you ain't trying to come fuck. A woman to be like, I ain't got time for that bullshit because you're holding other things above me. Like I can't.
Mm-hmm.
I need a man who is interested in fucking me because that's my control over him. And I feel
Mm-hmm.
like so you have a lot of
You
men,
have
and I think that
you
goes
have
back to
had
that
that.
feminine energy because you have a lot of men who are lazy and who don't have shit to do, and they'll miss out on. I man, when I was younger, niggas would call out of work to go get some pussy.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd be like, you get off
Yeah,
at
I know.
11.
Hey, I ain't. I know that because I've worked in all male dominated industries. This is why these dudes who will sit up here and say, "Oh, Princella, it's just the men you chose." Man, fuck y'all. I have been friends with males. My whole life is male dominated. I probably only had 4 female friends my entire life. So when I was in the car industry, I was one of the top salesmen in the car industry, and I used to get to work six o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock, right when the service department would open, and I would stay at work from 7 o'clock in the morning all the way to 11, 12 o'clock at night. Sometimes one, depending
You
on
ain't
what
trying to miss no
holiday they was.
sales.
Right, right. But them dudes would leave at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, trying to go get some sex, and then get mad because I outsold them. How you gonna get mad that I outworked you? When you trying to leave to go get some pussy. I was around
Right.
the dude. He was married to one of the execs of at Verizon, and guess what happened to him? He got caught up in a prostitution ring. But every day he would come to
Fucked.
work and tell us about all of the chicks he was fucking off Backpage, right? Now I was in those conversations. Men used to talk to me like I was one of them, right? So I know men in a way that women will never know them, right? Because I've been around men, I've studied men. My mentor was a man at 16. I know men, right? So like, I don't trust men. I'm just gonna put it out there. I know them so well and I know what they about. I don't trust men at all. I don't trust men to have my best interests at heart. I don't trust men to like me for the person that I am. I know they want something, right? Every dude that come up to you wants something, right? So it's like this. In all honesty, I do not see me ever having a relationship that is high level with no man because I don't see them being capable of being anything other than selfish, needy people who just using women to fulfill their own needs. These dudes don't give a fuck about a fuck about who I am, what I know, how deep I am. They don't give a goddamn. So since they don't, I ain't trying to fuck with them, right? I don't do shallow relationships. I don't do basic shit. I'm not elementary. So I ain't got time to be dealing with no dude trying to cater to him and stroke his ego and fuck him when he feel like being fucked. Man, you go fuck another bitch. I ain't got time for you.
Do
Go,
you
go,
think?
go.
Do you think because I know you do all this enrichment for women, so I'm a firm believer that people are raised how they raised, they believe what they believe, but you can learn and improve. Do you
Oh
think that
yeah.
in the future, I mean, just your opinion, do you think that you, let me rephrase, do you think it's possible that you could ever meet a man that may be able to meet you on your plane that you may be able to find something with, or do you just feel like it's just not plausible?
I feel like it's an anomaly because where I'm going is so high level in my thinking, in my operational life, and I know how men are wired and how they're made and who they are. That expectation of them to be that high is too it's too unrealistic. It's too unrealistic. Men are too low level to ever get to the level of operation that ultimately that I would be at. At 36 years old, I got a hell of a goddamn makeup, composition, mental and spiritual makeup. It's only going to increase because if you ain't growing on this physical plane, you're dying. And I'ma forever be growing. And to expect a male to meet me at my level, that's too much of an expectation for the average male. And I think that the type of man that I would want to be in my company is an anomaly. And it would be a cold day in hell if I ever meet that dude. I
Well,
really believe that.
we are going through climate changes, so I'm just saying you never know. But like I said, I've been in a situation where I was hurt, fooled, per se, and
This ain't about individual experience. This
well,
is about
I'm just saying, I'm not saying it is, but I'm just saying like I just felt like I need to focus on me. I don't need a woman, and because I'm not gonna meet a woman for my expectations. And I met one at the grocery store on accident. Like
yeah, but y'all expectations are not necessarily that high of women because most of y'all expectations is based on a woman being able to fulfill some type of need and breathe life into you and be all that other stuff. That's really not hard to find, especially if you get it out of a
I
clean.
don't, but I think because your expectations can be different. Like it's even if it's not hard to find a lot. Like a lot of times you don't have time because you got this conference, you got this job. Like so, I work in a medical field, so a lot of times my schedule is made out months in advance. So I feel like depending on what your expectations are, not that mine was all like this, but there were just certain things that I wanted. And when I look at modern how society is right now, I just didn't see that happening.
Right.
But it did.
But see, at least, but what I'm saying is the type of person that you expected is not an anomaly, is what I'm saying.
I think
Even
it
if
is.
even if the times didn't or the logistics didn't line up, what you talking about is not necessarily an anomaly. What I'm talking about is practically a fucking anomaly because what I'm able to think, do, and see and be and operate as a woman, right, at this level with a lot of life force energy and a lot of drive and hunger and enthusiasm for life and the ability to constantly grow in my spiritual and mental aptitude, to expect that from a physical male who is biologically and psychologically wired to have impediments on reaching this level, it is an unrealistic expectation of them. So I'm not going to stop elevating and growing, right? To be talking about meet no dude. I want to become the best version of me and I want to go as high as the creator wants me to go that will give me the ability to go. And I ain't never stopping until the day that I die. To expect a male to get to that level when he is biologically and psychologically wired with impediments that prevent him from getting there. What I'm saying is to find what I would be happy with in the male counterpart is very, very, very unrealistic. So if I was to ever deal with it, it would have to be multiple dudes. I would literally have to deal with multiple dudes to get the one person that I would be happy with.
I'm optimistic. I think it's the guy. I don't know who it is. I don't know where he at. But even
Probably
if it's a slight chance, he probably somewhere in Thailand in the conference right now. But if it's a slight
anomaly.
chance,
Anomaly don't
I think
mean
it's
that
possible.
anomaly
Right.
don't mean impossibility.
It's
That's
just a
not the
small
definition of
possibility. Yeah.
very small. So what I'm saying is I'm not holding my breath for it. That's
Right. You
what I'm
said
telling
it ain't likely.
you. It
But
ain't like look, I accept that. I ain't got nothing wrong with that because my purpose on this planet is not a man. A
right.
man is not my life purpose. My life purpose is to be able to leave something on this planet that will live long after I'm gone. And the information that I have with my discovery of the five components to begin to shift society in a way that has never been shifted since it's been destroyed. There is no Plato, Socrates, none of them have this information about exactly what love is and the rhythm to love. This shit will stand the test of times, and my name will live on long after I'm gone just because of this right here. So I have a purpose that's so much bigger than me that the last thing that I got to think about or concern myself with is to have a relationship with a male, right? I've become so high and I'll begin to get so high that my identity will not be tagged to my sexual relationships. So I may end up having multiple sexual partners or males who I mesh with in certain areas. They may not be able to get on my level, but I might have to have a couple of them who will make up the type of person that I need because I'm so talented. You got to understand, I can play the piano, I can play the drums, I sing, I rap, I draw, I'm intellectual. I got a background in cell and molecular biology. I do a lot of study. I'm very good at human psychology and behavior. I like to climb mountains, rocks, swim, bike ride, travel. I have a wide variety. I even teach myself different languages. I have a wide variety of experiences and desires and so much depth to my personality. There's no way on God's green earth that there is a male out there with such a high level that's going to be able to acquiesce or mess with me being that deep of a person. Most men are shallow as fuck. So I can only deal with them in a little area that they can be astute in. So that means I might have to have multiple motherfuckers that I deal with if I even want to deal with them.
So okay, that's very well. Like I said, I just it's probably one of my issues, but I'm very optimistic when it comes to people in society. Um,
Mhm.
so my last question, because you've answered pretty much everything. So I had a couple other questions, but you already confirmed them as far as with the monarch kind of thought set in the society that we live in. So my last question to you, well, second to last question is, what does well actually answer that as well. So you already told us that you have bigger things planned,
Mhm.
but do you consider yourself successful now? And
Oh, absolutely.
what does that mean to be successful to you?
To overcome all of the obstacles in life that they have thrown at me, I have been through so much in this life, and it has turned me into a very beautiful soul, a beautiful person. And I have an understanding of this reality that is very deep, unique, and only the Creator's chosen people will have this depth of understanding and vision that I have. And only through my determination, willpower, and my no quit attitude is what brought me here. No, I'm not on fucking Jet Magazine or anything yet. But that's the plan that the creator has for me, and I've passed all the tests that that the creator has put me through to make me or develop me to become the person that it needs me to be to deliver the message that I'm out here delivering. And so yes, I feel very successful. I feel very happy and fulfilled. And the only thing that it's gonna do is get better and better and grow and grow. And all I can say is I'm humbled to be the chosen to do the work that I'm doing. And I'm ever so thankful and I'm ever so grateful to be that.
Very well. So my
Hmm.
last question, and I ask this of all my interviews. I typically I pick a statement from George Washington Carver, Booker T. Washington. Two of my favorite political writers. So for you, um, man, because I think both these questions fit you.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna ask the first one because I think you kind of answered the second one. So the question states as when you can do common things in life in an uncommon way, you will command the attention of the world. George Washington
Hmm.
Carver. Does this statement feel true to you?
Absolutely, because it's common to talk. It's common to talk, and it's common to be on social media, right? But the way that I'm on social media, the way that I talk, baby, is uncommon, right? It's uncommon. See, I have a way of being able to turn an insult and deflect it back, right? I have a way of taking lemons and not making lemonade, but making Mike's Hard lemonade, adding a little bit of liquor in there to make it sting a little bit. And the way that I command attention when I talk is beautiful and people love it. And so, yes, that the creator gave me a voice and a unique way of delivering a message on a platform where everybody got something to say and everybody got a, a podcast and I'm standing out like a shining star. Yes.
Very well, very well. So, like I said, like I told you at the beginning, I do feel that you have a lot of negative attention. But
Mm-hmm.
I also feel like you'll have great growth and you'll have more people kind of tuning into you. I don't agree with everything, uh,
Mm-hmm.
but you do make good sense with a lot of your points. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
curious to see where it goes because just because you don't agree with something, to me, it ain't right. So
Right.
I'm very interested in seeing how these things play out for you. I would love to have another conversation with you, maybe in about a month or so when I get back. I'm gonna do a little bit of traveling, but when I get back to
Mm-hmm.
Miami, because I'm very, you're the one of the, I would say the third or fourth person to bring up the effects on patriarchy on our society, and the
Mm-hmm.
negative effects, especially for those who are um, not indigenous to this country. So uh, I definitely want to get in more depth in that because um, I think that'll resonate with a lot of people, especially, and I really think that will resonate with a lot of men because the way that people think. Men probably thinking like in a factual way. Like, and I know even you were saying like, oh, like D'Angelo, you saying certain things, you agree on what I'm saying, but you're just not seeing it. And like I said, I agree with some of the things that you bring up. You have some very valid points. So I definitely would love to have that conversation. But I know you got another thing coming up, so I'm gonna let you go. And
Thank you.
I'm glad I got a chance to speak to you, to see them other levels and other layers. Um,
Yeah.
and hopefully, I forecast that uh, people hate what they don't understand and what they're not used
Right.
to. Um, I don't fear change. I'm the kind of person to move to a city by myself, but a lot of people fear change. But a lot of times, fear is just a lack of understanding. So
Absolutely.
hopefully, people will take some time and at least see where you're coming from, because they may
Hmm.
find that they actually agree with the things that you are saying versus just trying to, throw shade or salt at you.
Man, I
But
want man, look, let me tell you something. I want them to keep throwing shade because let me tell you, ain't nobody throwing shade with some shit that ain't fucking with their ego. Because see, I'm hurting their ego. They ain't got no other choice but to talk. Because when you hear me, That shit gonna hurt your pride. And guess what? You gonna lash out. You gonna start talking. And guess what happened when you start talking? You gonna bring attention, baby. Negative attention still got them attention. Baby, help me grow. Let me make sure that I'm saying something that'll fuck with you. Right? I wanna make sure it fuck with you. Yeah.
But and I agree with that because I feel like if you solid in who you are,
Right.
what you saying shouldn't offend you. Like, but if but you do have a lot of men who faking the funk. You got a lot of
Right.
men who don't want to put in the work. Um, and you got a lot of men who just really be in some bum ass positions. You got a lot of women the
Right.
same way, which I don't understand. But um, that's here or there. But like I said, I really feel that I'm curious to see what this is going to look like in 3 or 4 months. Because I feel like you have a lot of attention coming your way.
Mhm.
I'm looking forward to interviewing you again. But anyway, I ain't gonna hold you. Thank you again for coming through. Next time, this is gonna be all more organized because now I know
Mhm.
what I'm doing. I'm gonna
Right.
tinker with this program as well as a little bit, and I'm gonna start doing more interviews as well. Anyway,
All
peace.